Welcome, Gunrunner.
Right, hello everybody. Kieran aka Retro Laird here again. I'm back with another video for you and another book review. Haven't done one of these for a little while. This is one that I've been meaning to do for quite some time now. I've just been sitting on this, and for some reason I either keep forgetting it or I just don't get around to doing it. And it is the Spectrum and Commodore 64 book from Retro Gamer. Now this first came out quite a while back. Just show you the other side there, upside down, so you need to turn it around. We're going to go into that in a little while. Yeah, this is one that I've been meaning to do for a while. It's been out quite a while, but they recently did a reprint of it. They did a revised edition. I'm not sure what it is that they revised, whether it added anything to it. I'm not 100% sure, but they've reprinted it anyway. So I managed to pick it up this time. I'm not sure why I didn't pick it up last time, to be honest. So I remember seeing it in W.H. Smith's and everything, but just never did. But anyway, yes, I have it now. So let's have a little look through it, so you can see what it's all about. So I'm using my laptop here as a nice book holder. Does well. So a little introduction there about the book. All the people behind it, obviously. We've got the contents, as you already see there, just from looking at the contents, loads of familiar stuff, like, School Days and Sabre Wolf and Lotus Esprit, Trash Man, Target Renegade up here. Lots of other bits and pieces. So obviously it starts off with an article about the Spectrum itself, as it probably should do. With some history, that kind of thing about the computer. So I'm trying to get it so you can see it a little bit better. So there's more about that. Perfect 10 games in the original article. Some interesting choices here. Starquake, I wouldn't have had that there. Tool, Quasitron. See, me, obviously it's a very, very personal thing, but having a Spectrum growing up, having a rubber key and a plus 2A, but out of the games that are listed here, the only one that would make my list would be Back to School. I don't think another one of these would even be near my top 10, to be honest. I know my brother was a big fan of Jet Set Willy, but me not so much. More games though. I used to like it when Retro Gamer did this. I missed that actually. Cobra, good old Joffa Smith, making of Head Over Heels, classic isometric adventure. Take it back a bit there, I think, actually. Ultimate Play the Game. You couldn't have a Specky Mag without Ultimate Play the Game, really, could you? More isometric shenanigans in The Great Escape. History of Monty Mole. I did quite like the Monty Mole games actually. I wasn't really a fan of platformers, but I remember playing them quite a lot. I think a lot of it was because I really loved the 128K music and Auf Wiedersehen Monty, which is just brilliant. Batty, probably the best game to appear on a cover tape ever. Brilliant. Lotus Turbo Esprit, which was just unbelievably good. That was probably in my top 5 Spectrum games. I still think it's amazingly playable today. Brilliant game. And I actually just recently wrote an article for GameSpew.com about the games that influenced the Grand Theft Auto series, and this was one of them. Lots of similarities to the Grand Theft Auto series. They were clearly inspired quite a lot by that game. Top 25 Spectrum games of all time. I seem to remember this was voted for by the readers. So, yeah. Turbo Esprit is only 16th. Terrible. Robocop 21. Back to School 19. See, there's probably my top 3 games just there on those pages. Quite easily, actually. My top 3 games. Chase HQ. I loved that. That's in my top 10. Amazing conversion. Target Renegade. I did love that. And 6. Yeah, I'll remember this now. 3D Death Chase #1. Good game, but I wouldn't have had it at #1. Trashman. Bit of a classic, that one. The Making of Manic Miner. Even shows the different screens. Company profit about Imagine software. Probably one of the greatest stories in the Spectrum, with their boom and bust and then being taken over by Ocean. So that's a great read, that one. And if you haven't seen Commercial Breaks, the documentary, then I suggest you go to YouTube and watch that as well, because that's fantastic. Feud, Dynamite Dan. Article about Mire, the unreleased Ultimate game. What happened to it? In the Chair with Matthew Smith, legendary creator of Jet Set Willy. There is a little bit about R-Type there. Jarrell. They did some fantastic stuff. They didn't make a lot of games for the Spectrum, but what they did do was just really good. Especially Saboteur 1 and 2, loved those. Lotus Esprit, yeah. Thanatos, brilliant. Combat Links, there was Critical Mass. All games that I had when I was a kid and absolutely loved. So yeah, Chain Reaction, that was another one. Yeah, I remember that one. So yeah, there we go. Spectrum Collector's Guide. So it shows some of the rarest stuff you want to own. There we go, Ultimate Collected Works. Highly sought after these days on disc. And then it flips. So what we actually have to do now is do this, and then it becomes the Commodore 64 book. So now, I was obviously a Spectrum owner, as I've said many times, so I didn't particularly like the Commodore 64. I had a few friends who had one. I used to regularly take the mick out of its brown graphics and blockiness and go on about how I love the Spectrum's high res. And my friends would go on about how it had no colour clash, how it had the SID chip and things like that. I was also the Spectrum as a kid, as I was saying, but now, I mean, even looking back, and I find a lot of Spectrum games, to be honest, I find a lot of Spectrum games quite unplayable. It's no doubt got some classics, but a large amount of its library now I personally find pretty unplayable. So it's not really a machine I go back to. If I'm going to play on an 8-bit computer, I go and play the Atari 8-bit. A magazine on that would be brilliant, but I digress. It wasn't as successful as these two, so it's these two have got the magazine. But yeah, maybe we could have a bookazine with Amstrad and Atari. That'd work. Then I've got one machine I love and one machine that I used to stay at the mick of, because my friend had a green screen Amstrad. Yep, you, Nick, if you're watching. Right, so Commodore 64, let's have a look through this, the beige bread bin. Yeah, so there's lots about it there. Learn about the SID chip. Yeah, I'm still not massively enamoured of the SID chip. I don't get what all the fuss is about, to be honest. It does some great music, but I just don't really like the strange synthetic sound of it. I much prefer something like the Pokey or the AY, but that's just me. A lot of people I know prefer the SID chip, so I'll shut up now. Making of Giana Sisters. Obviously, it was banned for being far too much like Mario. And there you go, what was I just saying about SID? I've got a whole article about the SID chip. So for all those who love the SID chip, yeah, you'll like that. If you're like me, then not so much. Above, Jeff Mittner Classic. Ocean Software, so this is quite good because obviously Ocean did an amazing amount of good games on the Spectrum as well. So yeah, that's all good. Impossible Mission. I'm a fan of that game from the Spectrum. I had it, and the Atari 7800 version, which is excellent. Whizball. Yeah, this is the thing, a lot of the games are crossover, because obviously Whizball did appear on the Spectrum as well. Here you've got top 25 Commodore 64 games. Uridium 4. Surprised that. Paradroid is #1. That's right. I was trying to remember what it was. International Karate, Whizball, and Paradroid. Iridium. This is an article on Thalamus, who were very prolific C64 specialists. And there is an article on Paradroid. Good old Houston Software and Andrew Braybrick. Aliens. A little bit on that. Interview with Ben Dalglish, C64 Music Maestro. I've met Ben many times at retro events. He is madder than a bag of tigers, but a great guy, really a great guy. Weird over Moscow. 5-Star Software. They did some good stuff on 64, but also suppose, know them better now as being Atari 8-bit, because obviously stuff like Boulder Dash, which they did, and Spy vs Spy were on the Atari 8-bit first. They were originally games for that system before they were on anything else. So that's always good to see for me. Collector's Guide to the Commodore 64. I find it funny doing Collector's Guide for home computers because there's so many games. But there you go, that's it. That's the book. Not really a lot more to show you. That's where it flips over between the two. But yeah, that's the Commodore 64 Spectrum book. If you are a fan of either of these systems, then this is a book you should probably go and pick up. It's a tenner from the Imagine store. I'll put a link in the comments below. If you are a fan of both systems, then it's almost definitely a game. It's definitely a book you want to get because you'll love it. So yeah, go pick that up. As I say, I'll put a link to it in the comments where you can get it. And that's about it really. If there's anything else you want to see from me, as usual, leave a comment. Hit me up on Twitter at RetroLaird. Find me on Facebook on the RetroLaird page, or the Laird's Lair page even, or one of the other many pages that I'm part of. And that's about it really, and I'll see you all again with another video very soon. Bye bye.